impact, it will be some form of self-warning.
General Authority 70 of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Adinka Odejirian, says the church relief support is targeted at flood victims in the Greater Accra metropolitan area, Wasa Amenfi East in the Western region, and the Dosukope community in the Angloga district of the Volta region.
As citizens, we care for our environment. We take care of our environment, we keep it neat, and this includes cutting grasses and avoiding dumping refuse in drainages. That is a practice that we need to change. So I think we need to just speak to people that they take the heart and mind approach to this, that we can have that paradigm shift in how we take care of our environment and how we properly dispose of refuges and avoid what can lead to flood.
Still on the environment, over 2,000 illegal and unlicensed firearms and ammunition retrieved through the gun amnesty program, lawful enforcement operations and obsolete state-owned weapons have been destroyed. This comes 4 months after Ghana ended a gun amnesty program, allowing people to surrender their weapons without fear or arrest. George Quainin has the rest of the story.
Ghana's arms destruction program plays a vital role in advancing national security and supporting border arms control efforts. The destruction of firearms permanently removes illicit weapons from circulation, ensuring that recovered weapons cannot be diverted back into criminal activities. From December 1, 2025 to January 30, 2026, Ghana's gun amnesty program allows citizens to voluntarily surrender unlicensed and illegal firearms without fear of arrest. Some 4,000 illegal firearms were retrieved through the gun amnesty program, alongside weapons recovered from lawful enforcement operations and obsolete state-owned firearms. These weapons were destroyed during the 8th National Arms Destruction Ceremony. Dr. Adam Alhassan Adamu Bona is the Executive Secretary of the National Commission on Small Arms and Light Weapons.
For the first time, the Commission is adopting an internationally recognized destruction methodology that permanently disables firearms before they are recycled. This approach aligns Ghana with the global best practices in weapons and ammunition recycle management, while promoting environmentally sustainable, responsible disposal and recycling weapons as we are destroying them today.
Minister for the Interior Muntaka Mohamed Mubarak revealed that Ghana has gained recognition in small arms control not only within the ECOWAS region but also across Africa and the United Nations through its regular weapons destruction ceremonies.
Let us remember that our ultimate goal is not simply to eliminate firearms, but to protect life, preserve peace, and create the condition for national development and prosperity. Every gun destroyed is a victory for peace.
The Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, said the exercise demonstrates the government's renewed commitment to removing dangerous weapons from circulation. Prior to the 2016 general elections, approximately 1,319 illicit firearms were destroyed at the Trade Fair Center. The weapons included single and double-barreled shotguns, locally manufactured pistols, AK-47 rifles, G3 rifles, and pump-action guns. Arms destruction has become an integral component of Ghana's national security architecture. Since the mid-2000s, thousands of illicit, seized, obsolete, and surrendered firearms have been permanently removed from circulation. And between 2005 and 2018, 10,052 firearms were destroyed. According to the Chief of Staff, Julius Debra, illegal firearms do not have a place in Ghana. George Quainin, TV3 News. Please depot Tesam.
The Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry has assured of the government's support for a local manufacturing company following the June 29 flood. The move is part of the government's efforts to support Ghana's import substitution agenda and job sustainability.
The June 29 floods swept through the warehouse of Three Dreamers Manufacturing Company, destroying goods worth millions of cedis. The Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ofusue-Jare, during an assessment of the damage, said the government is committed to working with the company to restore the affected sections and help it return to full operations.
This plant employs about 600 people, and I think that as a minister responsible for industry, it is something that I'm interested in. Even if you're employing a person, 2 or 3, I'm still interested in what you do. So if you are doing 600, then you know that this is high priority. We've had major discussions on how we will move forward. It looks like we will soon be able to bring them back on stream if you're able to put 1 or 2 things together.
The company, which employs more than 600 people, says it is determined to continue production to sustain jobs.
We are praying that we can do more to help the country, because not only government can employ people. We too, we are ready to support government so that we can let people get something, get some job.
3 Dreamers Manufacturing Company uses locally sourced raw materials to produce confectionery, toilet rolls and pastries.
The Ghana Journalists Association, GJA, is demanding stronger action to address the country's recurring flood crisis. The president of the association, Albert Kwabena-Jumfo, urged all Ghanaians to fully participate in the 2-day national cleanup exercise as part of efforts towards mitigating the floods.
Flooding in Ghana can no longer be treated as a purely seasonal inconvenience or an unavoidable act of nature. Increasingly, it is an institutional problem. The GJA therefore calls for a comprehensive national flood resilience strategy anchored in science, enforcement and public responsibility. Such a strategy must include the following: the expansion, redesign and sustained maintenance of drainage infrastructure in high-risk areas. Second, annual and timely desilting of drains before the rainy season, not after communities are already submerged. Third, strict enforcement of land use planning and building regulations by MMDCs, Metropolitan Municipal and District Assembly. Sometimes the question we ask, the $1,000 question is that, do we have MMDCs, assemblies in this country? We are going to follow keenly and closely the activities of MMDCs in this country starting from today. The public needs more than pictures of flooded streets. It needs explanation. It needs accountability. It needs sustained reporting that pressures duty bearers to act before the next rainfall becomes the next tragedy. Never again should deaths from poor drainage and blocked waterways be treated as routine. Never again. And never again should residents be left to suffer because public systems failed before the rain came. We also commend the government decision to organize a 2-day national cleanup exercise across the 7 flooded affected regions as an important step towards restoring environmental sanitation and reducing flood risks.
For drivers and commuters, the Kaswa Old Barrier to Botiano Junction stretch has become a daily struggle, with hours lost in heavy traffic. Persistent flooding and sand build-up along sections of the Cape Coast Accra Highway continue to disrupt movement, affecting businesses, residents and daily commuters who rely on the route. Joseph Armstrong Goldalogbe visited the area and brought us this report.
It is 6 a.m. at Kaswa Old Barrier, but the highway is already choked with traffic. Drivers inch forward slowly as floodwater covers sections of the road, forcing vehicles onto a single lane and creating long queues stretching for several kilometers. Road users say the situation has become a daily occurrence, with congestion lasting from morning until evening.
You are suffering. You've been a traffic for how long?
Suffering for 4 hours. So you can imagine.
You've been a traffic for 4 hours?
Yes. And this has been on every year by year. We are experiencing the same thing every year, the same story. Why can't they, exactly? Why can't they do something about it?
According to officials of the Ghana Hydrological Authority, the flooding is linked to water flowing from areas behind Welsos Mall, where ongoing developments and poor drainage management have altered the natural flow of stormwater. A closer inspection of the highway reveals another major challenge: Drains along the stretch are heavily silted, reducing their capacity to carry water away during and after rainfall. Residents say the flooding has persisted for years, repeatedly destroying properties worth millions of Ghana cedis.
Last week Monday so to ya ba ne shop ni mu nyina nso nko a bibia say ama afifa ni power han say nyina o so fa nkofo wa say so fa nkofo han say bebre.
Drivers and passengers also complain that spending hours in traffic is affecting their productivity, fuel expenses, and daily livelihoods.
We took off around 8 o'clock and then now it's 9:02, so let's say with the road, okay, let's say 30 minutes. From SCC to this side, those days it used to be less than 5 minutes.
But now you spend more?
Oh, more, yeah, you spend more.
Traffic, you know, high. 2 hours, 3 hours. And South Africa, so ever do Canadian.
Motorists who attempt to drive through the flooded section face additional risk. Large gullies hidden beneath the water have damaged vehicle springs, shafts, and other components. Adding to the challenge, thorns of sand have accumulated along parts of the highway, further narrowing the carriageway and worsening congestion. Residents and road users are appealing to the authorities to intervene before the situation deteriorates further. Road engineers and motorists believe the situation can be addressed through immediate desilting of drains and the construction of additional stormwater channels behind the West Hill area. They also recommend the periodic removal of sand deposits from the highway and the rehabilitation of damaged sections of the road to improve traffic flow. Joseph Armstrong, Good TV3, Kaswa Old Barrier.
Some more here, and the Ghana Armed Forces has commenced the reconstruction of the Tema camp with some 2,000 housing units aimed at addressing a long-standing accommodation challenge facing its personnel. The first phase of the project is to deliver 250 housing units scheduled for completion within 13 months at an estimated cost of 190 million Ghana cedis.
The redevelopment project is expected to transform Tema camp into a modern, well-planned military residential enclave with multi-story housing, upgraded utility systems, and improved social infrastructure. The first phase covers a 13.5-acre site and will increase accommodation capacity from the current 36 households to 258 households across 18 residential blocks. Speaking at the sword-cutting ceremony, Deputy Minister for Defense, Ernest Brojajemfi, said many of the existing barracks, some of which date back to the colonial era, have deteriorated over the years and no longer provide acceptable living conditions for military personnel and their families.
Behind these walls are families who sacrifice quietly so that Ghana can live in peace. Yet many of those families return each night to houses that have outlived the generation they were built for. Roofs patched countless times, walls that have endured decades beyond their intended life, buildings that have served Ghana faithfully but have now earned their retirement.
He said the accommodation challenge has been compounded by the growing operational responsibilities of the Ghana Armed Forces, including broader security operations, counter-terrorism efforts, and international peacekeeping missions.
Far too many of our soldiers complete decades of loyal service without certainty of owning a home before retirement. That should concern every patriotic Ghanaian. No one who has spent a lifetime defending Ghana should retire uncertain about where to call a home.
Chief of the Defense Staff, Lieutenant General William Ejapon, described the project as a strategic investment in the welfare of military personnel and the country's national security. He said the long-term vision is to develop a modern residential community that offers dignified accommodation, for officers, soldiers, and their families. The Chief of the Defense Staff also assured stakeholders that robust financial oversight, independent audit mechanisms, and transparent implementation structures have been established to ensure value for money and accountability throughout the project. Joseph Armstrong, Gold Alibwe TV3, Accra.
And Joseph Armstrong Gold Alibwe joins us live now from the Accra Metropolitan Assembly regarding our earlier story about the two-day national sanitation exercise. He's currently at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly office to monitor how it is going to pan out for us. Joe, if you can hear me, tell us what's happening early this morning.
Currently, I'm here at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, where you see behind me a number of task force put together. We are told elsewhere, like Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council, we have also some military personnel, the Ghana Police and other security agencies gathered, yet to move. On my way to this place, Beatrice, I saw a number of soldiers in convoy, yet to know where exactly they are heading. And the task force are taking briefing from the Accra mayor. And Beatrice, if you have some few minutes, I'll try and find out if this morning commercial vehicles will be allowed to move, so people who are traveling will know whether they have to come to the station or not. So just in about 30 seconds, let's have this conversation and see if honorable. Honorable. Okay, so Beatrice is still briefing the task force, but this information is very critical, so people will know whether they would have to join the various commercial places to travel or not. So let me get the PRO to give me some explanation on how the day is going to be like. We are aware that between now and 12 to 1 p.m. is going to be a national sanitation. How is it going to be like? Are commercial drivers allowed to work?
Of course, today, just as has been said from the presidency, today is not a holiday. So, of course, transportation is going to move on. Today, the activity is basically going to be the assemblies. Just as you can see, the mayor, Honorable Michael Papalote, is addressing the task force before we get them deployed out there to ensure that the areas are clean. The trucks are all ready. So today, it is the assembly together with the security forces who are going to move in to ensure that the work is done. And then for tomorrow, we get everybody on board with respect to these.
So in short, truck drivers, commercial drivers who will be allowed to work. Nobody will stop them from doing their usual business.
Of course, but that notwithstanding, it's also important to note that within their various transport operations, just as the mayor has said, those areas are supposed to be very, very clean. So we expect that in as much as they move in and then transport people to their various workplaces, they should also ensure that within their various transport areas, they get mobilized and ensure that these areas are quite clean.
So that's the PR for the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. There will be no restriction on commercial drivers going about their daily duties, but they also have to ensure that their environment is clean. And Beatrice, let me quickly add, the Ghana Armed Forces currently is gathering at the Ministry of Defense, and they are heading towards Alaju area. I'm told that today there will be some massive demolition, especially buildings sited on waterways. It will not be spared today, as the military has been instructed to ensure strict compliance. Buildings that need to be demolished will be demolished. We are going to keep our eye on this development and join you later on Newday for more updates. Over to you in the studios, Beatrice.
Indeed, and we'll come to you. Thank you very much, Joseph Gold Armstrong Alibwe, reporting live from the Accra Metropolitan Assembly as the national two-day sanitation exercise begins. And we'll bring you updates throughout our programs today. Well, that's how we end News Morning here on Newday on TV3. My name is Beatrice Edu. Thank you very much for joining us on the program. Do continue with us on Newday.
Hello, my name is Pamela from Customer Service. Please revalidate your account by texting your Ghana card number to 0500,000 247.
Hey, Abili, wabedim.
Madam, give me the numbers behind your ATM card. I'm calling from the head office.
An email was delivered across to our customers this morning.
Confirm if this is your bank account. 100,100,100.
Thanks for sending your bank card details.
Send the OTP now to avoid cancellation.
EcoBank will never call, email, send an SMS asking for your PIN, OTP, bank card, or Ghana card details.
Don't get played. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Hello, please, I'm calling from Customer Experience Center.
Register now for the second edition of the Ghana AI Summit from the 29th to the 30th of July 2026 in Accra, Ghana. Theme: Artificial Intelligence for Economic Growth and Job Creation, Innovation, Inclusion, and Future Jobs. Incorporating Ghana National AI Challenge and Ghana AI Awards 2026. Join policymakers, industry leaders, startups, researchers, and global experts to explore how AI can accelerate development, boost productivity, and create sustainable jobs. This is more than a summit. It's a platform for collaboration, innovation, and real impact. Visit the Ghana AI Summit and awards at GhanaAISummit.com to participate and empower yourself with AI skills and knowledge. Ghana AI Summit 2026 is organized by Knowledge Innovation in partnership with Deloitte and Media General. Call 0242 555135 for more details.
Owelo nujolo. Awoyata. Owelo.
Of culture, grace, and legacy.
Ghana's most beautiful is 20 years. Brought to you
be here. And you know he's a sucker for old school music, right?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, let's play this song to officially tell Akabli that I have missed him on the show. And I was hoping that when he got to the tiny party, he would have rapped for me.
My guy is terrible.
It's not late. It's not late.
So don't rap for parts.
No, you see the other songs. This is
Oyohene.
The remix featuring Tiny.
Exactly.
I think it should be on the Entitiepa album.
Yes, it
2003.
is. Yes,
2003.
You see, I told.
I love it.
I knew you would not disappoint me.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It's just always. You know, Bravo, it was the period where he was doing a lot of this conscious music about patriotism, taking care of society, what citizens can do. It was in that era that this song came out. What does Aleche Kankwe mean? I've always been curious.
Aleche Kankwe, like obi onimu ade na pa Kankwe, obi onimu ade na dendeng. But the part that I love that he says all the time, and I had to personally ask him because Tani and I are very good friends. So I used to hear Ricky Nabadu something. So I was like, Mini Obio. And then he said, Ricky can now Badu Nakuchobi. So Ricky, grandpa, and then now Badu, grandma, Nakuchobi, grandson. Yes.
When I heard that, I thought it was Hausa.
No. So Ricky, now Badu,
yeah, it actually sounds like Hausa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's how I was also hearing it.
Wow.
So I had to ask him, that's when he corrected it and said, it's Ricky, now Badu Nakuchobi. So that's the signature. Every song that Tiny does, you hear him say Ricky, now Badu Nakuchobi. He says it all the time. And it's a special one from me to you, from all of us to you.
I love the song.
But you know the thing I hate about songs like this, and the DJs who have been doing that, like when it's radio airplay, right?
Yeah.
When it's, those of you who read the news, when it's 11:59, that's when the DJs will start the song. And at 12 o'clock, they'll just...
I always, whenever I go to 3FM for the midday news, I always ask AJ, why do you play like the nicest song when it's just a few seconds for me to go?
And you know the soundtracks they play for news, that's MBSC, you know. Just like we are enjoying this.
Yes,
so the DJ just starts, Kasha, J, Sherman, and then they cut it.
But you have to understand them, they are signing out to the bank.
No, I don't like it.
And a lot of the time, it's just a few seconds, actually.
You know, and they normally do it at around the 12 o'clock news. 1 o'clock, they're because sometimes it's business news.
Yeah.
Sometimes 2 o'clock is fine. But the 12 o'clock one.
Yeah.
Oh boy, the DJs who do that, and the DJs who also makes music, some pure, you know, just when it's getting to the nice part, then they change it.
Yeah. And sometimes when like there's a part that you like that is coming, that's when they'll play the station ID and all. They'll do all the catch up. Like, I want to listen
because
and
they know you are
listening
and they want to register the station ID. But we've had some amazing musicians in Ghana.
Yes.
You know, before the medicals, the Sarkodiers, and whoever is the strong ones, and whoever is rapper of the Lyrical Joe, there was Tiny, Ricky Kenau Badu Nakuchobi. And he's an old-timer, and he does timeless music. 2003.
Yeah,
it's 2026, 23 years ago, and this I'm playing Roland's role this morning. This is Amoncho, you are enjoying the song yourself, so you don't want to do the switch. Yeah. But yeah, two of the best musicians we've ever had in this country, Obrafo and Tiny, wherever you are. It's a special thank you for what you have done for Ghana music and what you continue to do. Obrafo does not do active music anymore, does he?
No, not on the regular. I think the most recent, maybe he's released and I don't know. It's just that one he did with Manifest. I don't know whether he's done anything beyond that.
The last time we saw him was at Sarkodie's Rapaholic in London. I think that's where the last time I saw him perform.
I just wanted to say something on Tiny as well. I mean, he looks just like the same as he's looked.
He's a vampire.
20 years ago.
He's a vampire. He never changes. You know, he's like Pharrell in America. They've never aged. Tiny has been the same size, facial features and everything from the time I knew him up until now. Ricky, good morning to you wherever you are. I miss you. I'll come and look for you. We are getting messages already. Some people are saying that they are watching us live all the way from Cameroon. and
nice.
Hyman Basi. And then another person is also watching us all the way from Japan. Wow, we do have a wide reach, eh?
Yes.
A lot of people watch TV3 Newday. Anyway, send your messages about this particular song, the memories it's sending to you now, and also let's know if there are other ones that you used to enjoy back in the day. But let's get into some business this morning. So it's the official day one of the aftermath cleaning exercise of the floods we all experienced on June 29th. And I'm told that there's a special sector that is beginning the cleanup today. And then tomorrow, the rest of us will all join.
Yes.
But this morning, I'm told that if you do own a store or stalls in and around the city, you are not supposed to open up till after 1 p.m. in the afternoon. And already we've heard from the authorities that if you do not adhere to the order, you would actually get in trouble with the law. So I do hope that we are all prepping for it. This morning, our cameras are going to go around the city and some of the regions here, in Ghana for us to see exactly what is going on. But yesterday, the vice presidential spokesperson, Shamima Muslim, was speaking on some radio stations. I heard her, and she was advocating strongly that we all partake in the cleanup exercise. But we do have a few questions about how it will be done, correct? Yeah. Are we using the district assemblies, the MMDCEs? What are we doing? Are we using constituencies? Because for instance, if you talk about somewhere like the Odo that must be desilted and dredged and all of that, those will require heavy machinery. Yeah. And you see that those two cars that we just saw, to move those cars would require some expertise. Are they relying on us locals to do that, or they are bringing in the military to start like with these heavy duty ones? And I said this morning again before we came on live that some of the gutters, the way and manner in which they must be desilted, it just can't be done with simple, you know,
ordinary hand tools.
Exactly, ordinary hand tools. It must require some very special tools. Are they providing all of those for us between today and tomorrow? A lot of questions on
I think one of the statements I saw earlier was actually the MMDAs being asked to ensure that the needed logistics were provided for. Okay. I mean, giving to the all the agencies and individuals who will be taking part in this. Yes, so for that, I think that if what I saw is anything to go by, then they are going to make these things available. But of course, it's a great reminder that we need to have these ones available. Look at these people. Is it axe and hose? They are using shovels. You know, they are using to clear the mud and the dust around.
So they can the mud take from the car out.
Exactly. We need things better than this, just so the work is quicker.
Yes, that's what I've been saying.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, yes, it's a 2-day national exercise. I was just wondering, so from morning till 12 o'clock, when these agencies are supposed to be doing this, how is it going to cost us financially? These hours that we're going to spend doing this, just because over the years, over the years, we refused to do what we're supposed to do. We refused to punish people for doing the wrong things. And again, beyond the 2 days, what is the plan? That's what I keep asking. Was it yesterday or 3 days ago? I asked the same question about driving through town and seeing big gutters being desilted. And what I asked was, what is the plan to regularize these? Because in other places, I remember, for instance, in France, La Seine, which is like the major river that we all talk about, there is a system which, like a lot of, you see all these big, they look like boats, cleaning them, taking the weed and all these other things out of the river, just so it remains at least as safe and a bit clean as it should. What is the plan for us? Said that we know that every 2 months, every 3 months, and I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself, but if we don't, this national 2-day exercise will not mean anything.
Right.
Because give it a week or two, it will get filled again, and then what happens?
And we're still using the plastics.
Exactly.
So is there any recyclable ways they intend to collect all these plastics? I was saying the other day that back in the day, we used to see dustbins at vantage points. I don't think that we see them anymore. Yeah. Moving forward, are we providing that? And are we having even demarcations in these collectors that you can put paper waste, plastic waste, and then maybe liquid waste? Is that what the plan is going forward? We need a plan that even if or even when the NDC is no more in power and another party comes into power, it would be progressive. The other party will not come back and say that, okay, this was an initiative by the former party, so the latter one is not going to embark on it. We need a national cleaning plan. How many times haven't we planted trees in this country?
Yes.
Where are the trees? We invested so much. Was it 5 million trees or 12 million trees? Because there was a phase 1 and then there was a phase 2 as well. Where are all the trees? Because if we had some of the trees in our environment, I don't think that the floods that we had would have been this devastating. So we need a plan. They need to communicate to us properly for us to understand exactly what the progressive plan of this cleaning
the sustainability
exercise.
of it. And this thing about separating our waste, liquid, plastic, and or solids, as you may call it. We have the Environmental Protection Agency, giving us the indication that this was an initiative together with other agencies they were going to be championing. At certain points, those times when I used to go to the EPA because of the kind of stories that I used to do, you will see bins that were clearly indicating that you put this here, this there, this there. But at the end of the day, how far have we gone with it? And what is the plan? If we abandoned it, what is the plan to bring it back?
Well, I'm sure they are listening, so they will give us some answers. As for Akable, he doesn't have a problem. Akable is a gardener, so when you get to his house, it's extra clean. I've seen from pictures. I've never been there, though. Don't look at me, it's funny. I haven't been there, but on his status, you see that especially on weekends, he'll be doing his gardening. Oh, okay, so I'm told Joseph Armstrong is at Circle. We'll be connecting to him very, very soon. Mr. Gardner, why are you smiling at me?
The way you brought me to the conversation
so some of those tools he's got already. So
yes.
if I do not receive any of those tools from government tomorrow, I'll come to your house.
So what
and
do you
come
plant in your garden, aside from flowers?
No, I have some vegetables,
yes,
carrots.
He's got a lot,
Yeah, carrots.
And you use them like they are sufficient for your...
Yes, the carrots especially.
All right, let's cross over. Welcome to This Morning. But however, let's cross over to Joseph Armstrong. I think he's in the Circle area to have a conversation with us.
And you're still here on TV3. Welcome to the This Morning segment. Let's cross over now to Circle here in Accra, where Joseph Armstrong is still monitoring the day 1 of the 2-day national sanitation exercise. Armstrong, if you can hear us, tell us what's happening where you are.
Circle or brass spot where deployment is taking place. And you see in short security personnel from the Ghana Armed Forces, that of the Ghana Immigration Service. We have the Ghana Prisons and that of the Ghana National Fire Service all gathered here with support from the Zoom Lion leading the cleanup exercise this morning. So we are told they've divided the teams in groups. The group you see here are going to work around the Circle enclave towards Alaju and area. Colonel, I know you are very busy, but if I can get some technical explanation. The Colonel is very busy, but I'll talk to the officers from Clote Kole to give us some explanation. Boss, please come close to me. Yes. Let's have this conversation. Okay. So, what's your name?
Hey, I'm Dr. Samuel Manin.
And you are?
The head of Environmental Health and Sanitation Department.
Okay, we want some detailed explanation how this deployment is going to be done, where you're going to focus the cleaning exercising on.
So, Koli Clote Municipal Assembly, we are covering the entire assembly because the flood heated the entire assembly. But what we are doing is that we've divided ourselves into groups. We have a team that is working at Odono area. We have the second team that is working at Circle area here. We have the third team that is working at Tema Station. Then the fourth team is at the ministries. We also have the principal streets being divided, put into 17 streets, and that has been given to our municipal service providers. And so they are sweeping all the principal streets across the municipality. Then all the 11 electoral areas. So when you go to Osukenka, where you see work going on. When you go to Alata, you see work going on. When you go to Odona, so the entire assembly, we are covering the entire assembly. The activity that we are doing drain desilting, we are doing weeding, we are doing fumigation, we are doing waste collection, and we are doing weeding as well. So these are the activities that we are doing for today and then tomorrow as well.
Okay, so very well. So will there be any restrictions in terms of people moving about their daily activities?
Yes, for today and tomorrow, they are supposed to open their shops after 12 o'clock. So from this morning, 6 o'clock until in the afternoon 1, all shops are supposed to be closed whilst we work. Yes. So all shops are supposed to be closed whilst we carry out our activities. Then after that, from 1 o'clock onwards, they can open their shops. Yes.
So does it include truck drivers that you know that they have to convey people from one place to the other?
Yeah, so truck drivers, food vendors are exempted. If you ask truck drivers not to come, how are we going to get our workers on board? So truck drivers and the food vendors are exempted from the close down. Yes.
They can work.
Yeah, they can operate. But then we met with our truck drivers within our jurisdiction, and we told them that though you are allowed to work, you have to make sure that your station is good, is in good condition. When we get to your station, we have a security team. We're made up of environmental officers, military, fire, immigration, among others. Their work is to do monitoring. So when they get to your station and we notice that the whole place is filthy and you are working, we will not spare you. We'll give you a call someone, then the following day you are taken to...
What will happen to traders who refuse to comply and open their shop? What happens to them?
Yes, so as you can see, across our municipality, all shops are closed already. And those that will prove to be recalcitrant, when we meet you, we have a very long trailer. When we get to your place and we notice that you are trading, we pack everything into our truck and off to the assembly. There's no way you could get those things back when we meet you working on the field. Yes.
You confiscate, you seize all those things, you will not give them back to them?
Yes, when we get to your place and you are trading, we are going to pack all those things until after 12 o'clock.
Now, let's talk about the big issue where the outdoor we know is heavily silted. Would there be any dredging today?
Yes, so after the flood, we have been cutting the waste both day and night. And so we're having a lot of waste at the Odona area. But this time around, when you go, you notice that we have very little there to collect. So we are today at Odona, we are doing drain desilting, we are doing waste collection, and we are doing disinfection as well at Odona community.
How about the Odona market that was heavily flooded as well? Market women are still there selling their old food stuff. Will you storm that place too and disinfect that market?
Yes. Where the market that was flooded, of course, we've sensitized the people. We've gone there, we visited the place, and then we've noted that some of the foodstuffs cannot be used again, and those ones we have packed them to our final disposal site. We are sensitizing that if you have anything that has been contaminated, can they bring it out? Then assembly will find a way to at least support you a bit. Then we can take those things to the waste disposal site. So we are going to distill that place today. We are going to fumigate that place today, and we continue with the public sensitization across. You know, one of our markets was also burnt. So we are clearing all the burnt materials, the leftover, the bricks, among others.
Take me to the movement again.
Where
you are moving to?
So today, as I said again, one group is going to work around Circle here. The second group is going to be at Odona area. The third team will be at Tema Station. The fourth team will be at the ministries. Then the major team, that is our service providers across the municipality, they are going to take charge of all our principal streets across the municipality. Then assembly members also take charge of their various electoral areas.
What's your name again?
I'm Dr. Manin Samuel.
Dr. Manin Samuel.
Yes.
Thank you so much for talking to us. So the deployment has already started, where you see the men in uniform leading with support also from the Zoom Lion. So on my left you see a number of brooms and then also wheelbarrows that they are going to use in this exercise, and currently they are taking a list of items from the assembly here, where they will immediately move into full action. But this morning, let me say, walking or driving on the street of Accra, it's not so busy as usually you see on Fridays, with the market square getting so congested with trading activities. As it stands right now, today the road is very free, where you don't see so many activities happening in here. They're trying to get some more technical people to explain to us, but as it stands right now, a lot of the task force have already been deployed to their various places, and work has already started. As early as 5 a.m., I saw people individually on their own yielding to the president's directive to clean their frontage. As early as 5 a.m., you see how elderly men and women cleaning and clearing the gutters right in front of them, meaning, well, when the president speaks, it goes far. But hopefully we don't have to wait for the president to tell us to clean our environment before we clean. But anyway, people are complying with the directive, and hopefully at the end of today and tomorrow, the capital city and parts of the country will get back to normal, with all the filth to see on our street will be clear. Let me also quickly add that for those who are clearing the gutters on their own, they collect the debris and put it right on the shoulder of the gutters. And if they do not get assistance from the assemblies to collect the sand and the debris they are collecting from the gutters, should there be any rainfall, obviously it's going to wash back into the drains again. So the assemblies will also have to pay attention to individuals who are also happy with the cleanup exercise at their various homes to clear the debris and also that of the sand that they've managed to collect from the gutter, so they doesn't get back into the drain. So currently that is what is happening here. We'll move from this place and head to Alajo. Yeah.
Joe, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Yes, if you can hear us, our viewers are asking this morning that some of the equipment we see over there, like the wheelbarrows and other equipment, have not even been arranged yet. They've not been assembled yet. First off, are there technicians over there who are going to technically assemble all these equipments? Number two, after the exercise is done, who's keeping these equipment? Are we keeping it in an authorized office at the district assembly office, or what's going to happen to it? Do households get to keep them, or it's going back to the military task force?
Yeah, so Cookie, currently as I speak to you, the wheelbarrows is a challenge. So we are still looking forward to see who will be responsible for assembling these wheelbarrows. I'm trying to get some technical people to give us some details on how the wheelbarrows are going to be assembled. And let me get some detailed information on how to assemble the wheelbarrows now. Yeah, so I'm trying to get some technicians and some technical people here to get us the details on how the wheelbarrows are going to be assembled. And right now, as you see, I can see two of them already being assembled, and they are taking them to location. So that is the explanation now, but chunk of the wheelbarrows indeed have not been assembled here. Hopefully I'll get some technicians to give us some details.
There was a second question as to how we are going to store all these items after the two-day cleanup exercise. Which offices are they going to? Who's keeping them? That was the other question I asked. And what criteria are they also using to distribute what specific items go to which area? We need to understand all of that.
Yeah, so that is what I'm trying to get an explanation from the colonel that happens to be the one leading the task force here, but he's very busy now, and his focus now is to deploy the task force to their various locations before granting any media man any interview. But let me approach him again and see if I can get some technical details from what is happening here. Colonel, forgive me once again. There are questions that have been asked. What is the criteria used in deploying people to the various locations? And also, we've seen a lot of wheelbarrows here. They've not been assembled here. If you can give us some explanation how these things are going to be assembled, so we know that work has really kick-started. But first of all, your name is, and then who you are? Give me some time. Let me get the people. We are currently live on air. Let me get the people. Just a minute of your time to get this explanation. Well, the colonel has left me once again, and he has the right answers to the questions you posed to me earlier, but he has brought back the man from Korekote to explain to us about these wheelbarrows, why are they not assembled yet?
Yes, so the assembly has procured over 200 wheelbarrows, and then we are, over the night, we're able to fix over 100 of them. And so the 100 that we have fixed, we have deployed them already. These are excess that we are fixing down, that in case someone comes requesting for some of them, we can give it.
Excess are supposed to be on wheels.
Yes, that is why we are fixing them. We have excess, and we have some of them have been fixed. Boss, you can see the number of people that are here. Those that we have fixed, we pack them in the shop. If we leave them outside here, I mean, people can take them away. So we are keeping them in stores whilst we fix them.
How many wheelbarrows are we deploying? Do you know?
We procured 300, and so far we are able to deploy around 150 now. Yes.
Yeah, madam. So you are with Zoom Lion?
Yes, I am.
No, we are asking, you brought some of these items.
Yes, these are logistics.
These are logistics needed for the cleaning, but they've not been mounted, they've not been assembled. So we are asking, when are they going to be mounted, when are they going to be deployed?
This will be deployed very soon. I'm sure that, as you can see, it is still being assembled. So definitely in some few minutes we should be set to get going. Yeah.
So do you mind giving us details of the number of logistics you are supporting with the national sanitation?
Okay, so Zoom Lion Ghana Limited, as you're aware, we are represented in all the 16 regions of Ghana and the 261 districts. And so we are responding to the call of His Excellency, the President, John Dramani Mahama. And we are doing this by deploying our equipment, our logistics, to support the national call. And so we are doing this. We are also fumigating certain places because, as we are aware, after the flood, we would experience some health issues.
Vero, so sorry, let me make it very simple. So we've seen people already clearing the debris from their gutters, and they are still pouring it just on the shoulders of their distance. Do you have any plans in terms of having tricycles moving around? Is your transfer station still active where people collect and they're able to move the debris to the final location?
Oh yes, currently we have opened all our transfer stations. We have the Achimota, Malam, Teshi, Adipa landfill, and then the Kpon landfill site. And so all these landfill sites and transfer stations are opened, and when the debris are collected, that is where we will transport them to.
So you are going to assist individuals who are clearing the sand from their gutters?
Yes.
Not to leave them on the shoulders?
Yes, and we also have deployed some tricycles in all vantage places. So Zoom Lion, we are ready.
What's your name again?
My name is Dorisa J, Managing Director, Zoom Lion Ghana Limited.
Yeah, thank you so much. So they are supporting the national sanitation here, and most of the logistics you see, we are told, is coming from them, and they are going to ensure that we do not just collect the debris and the sand and the waste we see, but they will make sure the waste gets to their final destination, Cookie.
Joseph, Beatrice here. The elephant in the room still remains the Odo area. And the logistics that we see on camera, as you've shown us, don't seem to be huge enough to support any sort of cleaning within that area. What is the plan? Do you know?
Well, so the plan, the man supposed to give us this detail is the colonel who has all the plans with him, but he's so busy this morning. I understand him as he's responsible for the deployment that is currently taking place. So for him, until he's done with his deployment, he's not engaging any media man. Well, that's a real soldier for you. He's not interested in talking to us. He just wants us to see him working, which of course he has managed to deploy almost all the men in uniform, and we just have a few of them left here. But I'm sure we'll get more details later when I join you again on the morning show as to how the plan is going to be, so that at the end of the day, the president's narrative will be fully complied with.
All right. Thank you very much, Joseph Gold, Armstrong Alogbe, currently within the Kole-Klote constituency assembly, municipal assembly as well, as the national two-day sanitation exercise kicks off.
Well, we'll take a break now. The men are already in the
Yes.
house. Councillor Maliba is here. My sweetheart, Ibu Bakman, is here. And I know Mr. Janta will fight with me because I called Ibu Bakman my sweetheart, but he's the sweetest of hearts. Mr. Jantwa is here. And he will be hosted by our other sweethearts, Joseph Akable. And I've heard them talking about football. It's a shame It's a shame and it's heartbreaking to see all the African countries exit the World Cup. We are left with all European countries at the moment. I don't know what language or what signal that is sending, but I've been quite unhappy about so many things, especially for this year's FIFA 2026. And I heard Councillor Maliba say that how can a president sit in his office and retract a red card that was issued to someone?
And he spoke publicly about it.
A whole lot of issues going on. But yesterday, Mbappe stamped the reason why he scored the dictator. And I'll be going to 3 Sports to get a further explanation as to why Mbappe, or maybe the gentleman know why he scored the dictator. I'll come to Abubakar to explain. We take a break now. When we come back, we would have the big issue. But remember to get pegged up for your day. It's pure delight, available everywhere. Today you will need it because we are cleaning. And but
we are cleaning tomorrow.
Yes, but I'm told that food vendors and trotro drivers can operate.
They should carry
a
short cake with them.
Yes, exactly. So when you see someone cleaning, just pack up their day by giving them some of the Peck milk shortcake. We take a break now. It is TV3 Newday. We come back with a big show.
Beautiful, graceful, and proud Ghanaian lady to win the all-new 20th anniversary crown. 200,000 Ghana cedis cash, brand new car, and all-expense paid trip abroad, a scholarship for a master's program, participate in an international event, a Zodorio deal, a set of gold jewelry, and many more. Join the audition journey. Nasi on 8th July at Miklin Hotel. Takrady on 10th July at the Western Serene Atlantic Hotel. In Accra on 12th July at TV3. Scan the QR code now to register.
GMV at 20. 20 years of culture, grace, and legacy.
Ghana's most beautiful is 20 years.
Brought to you by Gino, Pomo Tomato Mix, GTP, Kivo Gari 4-in-1 Mix, and Kivo Hot Pepper. Obwasib Numna Wumwangasa, Heaven Black Mosquito Spray and Coil, Fratelli Calipo, Dragnet.
Incaress by NK Pharma.
The world around us is changing, not slowly, not quietly. In the north, the rains that once arrived on time don't come anymore. In the middle belt, rivers and forests disappearing overnight. Along the coast, the sea is swallowing land that families have called home for generations. Rising temperatures, failed harvests, homes lost to tides. This is not a warning about tomorrow. This is the world right now. TV3 and the German Embassy in Ghana. The conversation on climate security implications in Ghana. The Climate Talks 2026. 5 cities, 5 conversations, 1 urgent call to action. Tamale, Bolgatanga, Kumasi, Keta, Accra. Starting this June 2026. The climate talks are coming, and this time, the people most affected by Ghana's climate security crisis will be at the center of it all. Because the time for Ghana to act is now.
Thank you for staying with us here on New Day on TV3. It's time for the big issue, and we are beginning the conversation by focusing on the sanitation day, basically. It's a 2-day general clean that is taking place. Special thanks to Armstrong Gold Alogbe for bringing us that report. First from the AMA headquarters here in Accra, where the team gathered first and they received instructions from the Chief Executive of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Afterwards, they headed to circle around the Obrasport area where further deployment is also being done over there, and we expect this to be replicated in different parts of the country. And just to put all this in context, there was a statement that was issued by the minister responsible for government communications that explained what is taking place. And in that statement, he indicated that the government, under the auspices of the Post-Flood and Mitigation Committee, has declared Friday, 10th July 2026 and Saturday, 11th July 2026 as National General Cleaning Days in the 7 regions affected by the recent floods. It's under the theme, Our Actions, Our Future, Cleaning After the Floods. It seeks to mobilize our collective duty to clean our communities, secure our environment, and safeguard lives across the country. And the minister described it as a critical nationwide exercise. All citizens are strongly encouraged to fully participate in it. And in terms of how it should be carried out for the 2 days, so the first day is for personnel from all security agencies and also in the Metropolitan Municipal and District Assemblies and waste management companies will commence the cleanup. Then for Saturday, the general public will join the security agencies and assemblies to scale up the exercise. So it will be focused mainly on desilting choked drains to ensure free and uninterrupted water flow on streets and highways, and sweeping and clearing sand, weeds and debris from major roads, streets and highways, and cleaning up public spaces, including markets and lorry parks, recreational parks, and communal waste collection points. And the minister says it's a critical intervention and a vital wake-up call for the nation. So that is the statement that was put out by Phyllis Kwachu-Fosu, MP, spokesperson to the President and Minister for Government Communications. And that is what has resulted in that exercise beginning already. And this is what will be engaging our attention as one of the topics this morning. The question we are asking is, how do we enforce sanitation laws? In the first place, should we be engaged in this exercise over the next 2 days? And more importantly, what happens after the first 2 days? And for those of you who have followed the political system for a while, you recall that under Mahama 1, there was a similar sanitation cleanup exercise that was introduced, that was taking place periodically. Under the previous MPP administration also, it was also introduced in a different form, was also a periodic cleanup that was taking place. But the question still remains that we saw what became of that. Eventually, participation went down. Eventually also, the places still remain as they remained. The gutters are still choked as we've always seen them to be. There's a part of the statement that, let me go back to it, let me read that I found also very interesting, because it points out some of the challenges that we face in the assemblies. And it says that the assemblies must ensure that all silt that is gathered and refuse are evacuated immediately to prevent them from washing back into the drains. And it makes the point that the assemblies are supposed to collaborate with the waste management companies to ensure that this is done. And for those, many of us in various communities will know that our waste management system basically is non-existent. It's now been, in terms of how we collect waste from our homes and do away with them, it's basically now in the hands of very young tricycle operators who don't appear to have any proper structure. They show up when they can. They are taking it up. Their tricycles are breaking down along the roadside. They are dumping them in places that are not proper landfill sites or proper waste collection points. And that is the system that we have currently in place. And so we can clean today, we can clean tomorrow, but subsequently, when our private spaces get dirty and we clean them again, what happens to that? These are all aspects of the conversation that we must have even as we begin this all-important exercise to set the nation in terms of on a direction towards dealing with this matter in a more sustainable manner. And it's what will engage our attention this morning. And joining me for the conversation, Abraham Amaleba is Director General, National Road Safety Authority. He's a lawyer as well with the National Democratic Congress. Asina, good morning. Thank you for joining us as always.
Good morning to you. And before you go to my colleagues, there's something which is a burning issue. You know, there's a viral video going around where in the Upper East region, the MPP has formed a vigilante group called the Lions. And I think this is worrying and disturbing. It was under the MPP government that we had a vigilante law to scrap vigilantism. So for the MPP in the Upper East region, knowing that the Boku area is volatile, and they forming that group is like a keg of gunpowder waiting to explode. I have given my legal advice to the regional minister, Donatus Akamukri, and I'm calling on the Interior Minister, Honorable Mutaka, National Security, to take serious interest in the formation of that group in the Upper East region. The region is bordered by Burkina Faso, and there are terrorists around there. And so you don't want an overflow of that into the country. The Lions group was inaugurated, and you saw them in the video taking an oath of office. I think that under the MPP administration, Nana Akufo-Addo called on the two political parties to meet, and I was part of the group from the NDC that met with the MPP at Ebri. The National Peace Council, have you heard? Have you seen it? Don't wait for matters to get worse before you come into the scene.
Okay.
This is a national security threat and must be taken seriously, and we don't want to wait till it explodes in our face. Thank you.
All right. Let's see. Hopefully, the relevant security agencies will pick up on this. I personally have not seen the video. It's one that I will be looking out for and see what is exactly playing out in that area as well. Also in the studio with us, Kwame Jantua is a legal practitioner with the Convention People's Party, energy analyst as well, a regular on the Friday Belt. Senior, good morning. Thank you for joining us once again.
Good morning. Do you call me a journalist?
No.
I thought you said I'm a journalist.
If I did that, then it's in error. A legal practitioner, energy analyst, energy. Okay. I think, that's what sounded like a journalist. Energy analyst, yes.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Yes. Ebo Bakman is Deputy National Communications Director for the United Party. Ebo, good morning as well. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, just to add my voice to what AB said, I have seen a story, a statement issued by Election Watch that disband Lions of MPP Vigilante Group. I think others have also expressed their concern. Let's take the necessary action to disband it. We don't need such groups or groupings in our political system at the moment.
Interesting. Also in the studio with us, George A.C. George A.C. is with the New Patriotic Party, former head of communications at the National Disaster Management Organization. Mr. A.C., thank you so much for joining us. He is not a regular on the Friday Belt, but he's joined us this morning. Hopefully you'll be coming a bit more regular as well. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a while I started on this set, and it's good to be back. On what a lawyer is saying, we pray all parties adhere to these issues. We saw what happened in the Obuasi enclave by the NDC and is it thugs or hoodlums and during elections? So we should stop the pretense and then be committed to the cause of getting all vigilante groups out, you get it, so that we can have national security and the security agencies taking charge of our security as a people and political. But we know political parties have a military wing.
Are you insinuating that?
We know.
Yeah, politics.
We know.
Politics is.
I just said, Obuasi, things happen.
Anyways, let's all calm down.
Pretending.
Politics.
Let's cut the pretense. That's what I'm saying.
Politics there. That's how.
So they also have. So they should have.
I told you.
Anyways, let's get into the discussion now. Yes, and maybe let me start with you, Mr. AC. I mean, you've had experience with NADMO and all of that. I mean, 2-day national cleaning that is taking place now by the post-flood mitigation committee and everything. I mean, with what happened on 29th June and subsequent action so far and this announcement of this 2-day cleaning, what is supposed to achieve? Maybe let me ask this question. Did you get a sense that there's a clear direction towards a sustainable solution for the problem we have at hand?
I pray so. But before I commit, let me greet the leader and flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
People have been told that you should rehearse when you come.
No, yes. So it's our leader. What's wrong if I greet my leader and salute him? The visionary.
Mr. Fine. If they don't have anyone to greet, you can greet everyone. So you move on.
And then Alhaji, assalamu alaikum. He greets the citizen and assures the citizen. He assures the citizen, especially those people who are looking up to 133 and are disenchanted as we speak. There's hope for you. Let me say good morning to and happy birthday to a friend, Nana Buje, Daniel, Precious Minerals Marketing Company. Happy birthday.
That's Gold Board.
Yes, now Gold Ball.
PMMC, that's
thank you. Now Gold Ball. Thank you for that correction. And Francis and your team, Adi Kamfo, 96, Presbyterian College of Education, 30 years. You're going back to give back to the school. Wish you all the best. Yeah, I would say that it's in the right direction. I second anything sanitation that will give us the opportunity as a people to get our environments clean. And I think I will commend governments for that initiative. As you said, they did that when President Mahama, during his first term, I think every last Saturday or first Saturday, one of the two, of the month, all of us were committed to the cause. And I must say that my General Secretary has issued a statement to this effect, encouraging all of us, the New Patriotic Party members and supporters and sympathizers, to fully participate in this two-day exercise. He encourages us, those who will be voting tomorrow, go vote early and then go take part in the National Sanitation Day exercise. So we are fully on board as a political party. Yes, these 2 days, let's do what we can, especially in the aftermath of this flooding and Akable. We saw on our television sets and our social media platform, like what you're showing, the filth, the deaths all over the place. You get it, and this flood has exposed our insanitary conditions in especially Accra and its environs, and then cut across all the municipal or metropolitan assemblies. So it's challenging all the assemblies to roll up their sleeves and support government cause to bring our environments clean. This also brings the matter of sanitation agencies in this country. But I heard the Minister for Local Government, my good friend Ahmed, saying they are releasing funds to the assemblies to micromanage sanitations within that. I thought, well, they are trying to move away from the national umbrella of Zoom Lion managing almost every district and then bringing it to the assemblies for them to manage. Is it going to be effective? Is it going to be efficient? That's what we want, results. You get it. And I've had some complaints thereafter that the resources or the revenues are not going. You get it. For the assemblies to also engage groups to do. And do we have competent groups that are properly coordinated to execute sanitation management in these assemblies? You get it. Like Zoom Lion had the equipment, everything at the national level. And I understand, I stand to be corrected. I was told the new rule says they cannot take more than 3 assemblies, okay? And if they have the equipment to run a national sanitation, you say they cannot do more than 3. And because of that, they don't seem to be interested in engaging with YEA to manage sanitation. So let's see. My brother, Honorable Ahmed, if you'll be able to efficiently manage the decentralization of sanitation management at the assemblies level, so that this will just be complementing what the Ministry of Local Government will be doing, what we are doing today, tomorrow. And if we replicate it from time to time, it will be good. Now, you ask, beyond these 2 days, what happens? And then how do we enforce, bylaws or sanitation laws? Enforcement is within the assemblies. You get it. Assemblies have bylaws, and then we have the health officers within the assemblies. In fact, they've been there and they've been working. In fact, they've been taking people to court. You get it. When there's a health officer, in some places, this is some people and co. They are there. They've been working even up till now. I've seen some. I know one officer, and they've been taking people to court and others. But are the punishments or the penalties punitive enough? Deterring enough? You get it. That is what we need to look at, because if people arrest people at the assembly level and they take them there, and the kind of punishment that, 1,000 CDs, or is it less than that? You get it, 1,000, or even if it's 2,000, some people don't see it as deterrent enough. You get it. So what can we do? Is it going to be other punishment beside the fining? You get it. I know there's another topic we'll be talking about, custodial matters and co. I'm not going to be sitting here to be pushing custodial punishment for sanitation matters. But then we need to make the punishment punitive enough so that people will become aware that you don't need to make your place dirty. Another key play is, if we want to enforce and be successful in the enforcement, what are the rules of landlords and co? You get it. We have the black polythene bags flying in the night, and then at dawn, you know what I'm talking about, because it's breakfast time. I don't want to be mentioning certain things. And so, because there are no toilet facilities and co in certain homes that people are living in, and so they decide to do it their way and then find other ways of disposing of this. And this goes to, dirty the environment and all that. So is there a way we can support landlords, okay? Assemblies support them to get some of these WCs and others, so that there'll be convenience within tenants in households and co. That's something. And so if you have been able to provide these things, supportive mechanisms, and people are flouting the use of what is available, then when you are punishing them, you are within your rights and limits to so punish these people. Otherwise, it will be, say you don't even provide it, and then how do you expect us to get access to these things? And so if we do it our way, it's not a justification, but if we can also meet landlords and others halfway, provide some of these things. Dustbins are there. You move in public, 1, 2, every 100 meters, you find somewhere you can dispose of your toffee rubbers and others. Then you are sure that, okay, the state is also supporting you halfway or meeting you halfway to ensure that our environments are very clean. You get it. That is important. You travel elsewhere, you're not even to spit at certain places. You're not to, you don't, it doesn't even cross your mind. You get it. So because the environment is provided, the facilities are provided to support the enforcement of that kind of behavior. You get it. And so that individual wouldn't even attempt to dispose of something or even spit. So if we also put those mechanisms in place here, okay, besides the punitive things, support systems so that people will begin to become conscious of the environment and the need to keep the environment clean, I think we'll be making progress as a people. I commend government for this 2-day cleaning exercise. Maybe let's all put our shoulders to the wheel and support government to make today and tomorrow successful. Then we can replicate it thereafter.
Let me come to Ebo now. And Ebo, good move you would say, but we ought to also talk about sustainability issues still.
Yeah. So I even put it down here. It's highly commendable, but we need to make it sustainable, because this isn't the first time doing it. We've done it over and over again, but the issue of continuity. You see, it's only when we have problems that we look for solutions. Sometimes you have to look for the solution ahead of time. That is what you call proactiveness, right? About 90% of our disaster management efforts have been reactive. When it happens, then we show what we can do. But let's put the solutions ahead, as preventive measures, so that we don't have to go through the kind of things that we went through last week.
I'm not cutting you. there are preventive measures in disaster management. Those ones mostly are not before the cameras.
Yeah, but I'm saying that let's do more.
Yeah, thank you.
To avoid the kind of disaster we had last week. You see, and let's also say that even if you are to sustain it, it should not be seen as a substitute for the kind of work that we need to do, the real structural and engineering interventions that we need to solve this problem. Yes, let's do the cleanup exercise. I would suggest that after doing it at a national level, let's decentralize it and even do it monthly or quarterly. Because, I mean, whether every community falls within a municipal or district assembly. So we can do quarterly or monthly cleanup exercise as part of our calendar so that we don't wait for disasters to happen before we do it. It's also very important. And George mentioned the issue of enforcement of laws. The problem you have in this country is that we have beautiful laws in our books. But when it comes to the enforcement of those laws, I mean, you go to sleep on it. And so let's wake up with our enforcement of the laws. You see, I know the president has said it, we have said it, that those who have built along waterways or in waterways, those burdens there should be taken off, should be cleared. And last week I made a point that it's not just about the burden, because most of these places, because they know the place is not suitable for burden, they do filling. Filling is the filling that reduces the size of the waterway. So if you break the burden without dealing with the filling, the problem is still there. So these are critical issues we need to look at. And also let's look at the issue of how we can prudently utilize resources that come into our hands for some of these things. You see, if you have a situation where public servants or people or politicians would want to divert resources for their personal gain instead of using them to solve problems, it becomes an issue. So these are some of the things we need to do. I really commend the government, the president for this initiative, but it's not, let's say, for this cleanup exercise, but then let's see how we can sustain at the district level. Because at the national level, we can do probably for the cameras, for photo shots or whatever. But then, if it doesn't trickle down to the district and
for the optics.
I don't want to use the word optics because last week I used it here and somebody nearly chewed me out. So we need to look at how we can prudently use our resources. But the most important thing I think we need to do is look at our education system. We are all product of our education system. And our behaviors, our attitudes are largely shaped by our education system. What we are taught is what we do. The reason why after every World Cup match, the Japanese stay and clean the whole stadium is because they were taught from the very beginning of their lives that wherever you go, you leave the place better than you met it. So that principle, that philosophy is with them. I mean, it cannot take away from any Japanese or every Japanese person. So let's begin to look at our education system again. For most of our problems, we have corruption, all this indiscipline. Let's look at the root cause. And I believe that if we want to solve it, we need to go down. When a tree grows, it is difficult to redirect it. But when it is young, you can always redirect it. And let's look at our education system. Let's do things, let's teach our children things that we want them to do. We want them to, it's not, because if you don't train them, the environment itself will train them. Because when they will see others throwing it, because we got it wrong. I'm telling you, that discipline, we were not taught those things in school. Even on campus, you see things being done haphazardly. So if you can teach them and they grow with it, I think it will go a long way to solve some of these problems.
Sorry, when did you go to school?
That's the point I wanted to ask.
When did
you go to school? You said we were not taught in school.
We were not taught in school. I mean, we were not taught in school.
When you say you were not taught, what kind of teaching do you mean? Because I remember, even I mean, relatively, I would have gone to high school way after all of you around the table. But I mean, even at the time, we used to do the cleanup, the regular cleanup, the inspection where they come in, they check your bed sheet, they'll go through your things, they check the washroom. Or you mean a different form of education?
Okay, so why do you think the Japanese do what they do and we don't do what we are supposed to do?
I think it's a complex.
Why do you think you can't spit in Singapore?
Yeah, because I say so because
chew gum publicly.
I say so because when you go to Legon, when I went to Legon, the first time I went to Legon, you are walking along the streets, you don't see littering around. But the same people who are at Legon, they are in the societies outside and they just dump it anywhere. And sometimes we say it's about a bin. You can move on Legon campus, you don't see a bin there. But someone will just still carry whatever he's holding. I don't know whether it's by virtue of the fact that you don't see anything there or you just don't see people doing it. Yeah. Because the same guy, even the same Ghanaians you are talking about who have not been educated, they go outside the country, they want to pee, they hold it till they get wherever they are going. Yeah. Here in Ghana, by the roadside, by the car tie, they finish there.
Law enforcement.
Because you see, in those countries, their leaders were also influenced by what they were taught. So they are practicing what they were taught in school. Okay. That is why they've been able to make their cities so clean.
Teaching, we disagree. All of us seem to disagree with
No, you can, okay, so tell us, what were you taught in school? Tell us. But the point is, let's see what we can do. Let's tackle our education system. I mean, you see, all our major problems in this country, if you trace them backwards, it will get to a point where you realize that we have a problem with our education system. Let's face it. I mean, Singaporeans and Japanese are not better than us in terms of human beings, but the kind of training they receive, the kind of education they receive, is what shape their behavior, and that is what I'm calling for. It is not too late because, I mean, we say we are building this country for future leaders. If you don't prepare the future leaders today, the same future leaders will come in 30 years' time, 40 years' time, and the same problem, either it will be worse or it will still be there. So let's look at the broader picture. That's the point I want to make.
Define education system. When you say education system, define it. Where does that end? Where does that end?
You understand what I'm talking about?
I don't understand.
No, where does
that education system start from? If you talk education system, what education system do you mean?
Formal education system.
No. Education system starts from the home.
He says he's referring to the formal one.
No, I'm saying that before a child goes to school, they come from the home.
Okay.
And if the home isn't being handled properly, they bring it into the system.
And if a child goes to school and learns something, and he comes home and it's not being done in the child can point to the mother and say, "Mom, this is not how we do it."
What if it's not done still?
So, Mr. Renzo, I have your turn now.
Good morning to our viewers.
Good morning to you.
You know, the big rule for sanitation isn't just throwing rubbish and trash away. It's a cycle. You've got to contain, you've got to collect, you've got to transport, you've got to treat, and you've got to dispose safely. Now, I'm not sure whether you've heard. I understand there is a rural place in the eastern region. I've forgotten the name of the area. And you know what they've done? They have used these barrels as bins scattered all over their area. And apparently the chief there makes sure that the people there deposit the rubbish in these bins. Because the big disposable ones that were being provided by government wasn't working. So they've innovated their own and they've put them at vantage points. So anywhere you pass, there's a bin. So people can do what? Put their rubbish in. The reason why when you go to foreign countries and you don't see rubbish being thrown everywhere is because from the word go, the place is decent and clean. You won't go to Trafalgar Square in London and throw pieces of paper away. It's clean. The only rubbish you see there is bread. And why is bread there? Because they feed the pigeons which come there. But even afterwards, it is clean. Look, I think the sanitation the sanitation ride we have taken to do now is good. But as my colleagues have said, is it sustainable? It cannot be a 9-day wonder. It cannot be a 2-day exercise. It cannot be a 1-week exercise. We need to put in place a system that continuously does it. And I think it has been started by the Community Service Bill. That's the starting point. Most of all, the mindset of the people.
Yes, the Community Service Bill.
The mindset of the people. For me, that is where everything starts from. Ebo asked about Singapore. The mindset of the people is such that if they see rubbish, they question. If we see people throwing rubbish, do we question as a people? Do we? During these floods, I told you there's a drain behind my house, which starts from, I think it starts from Alajo. Is it? No, not Alajo. The other side. Oh, I've forgotten the name of this place. Near Agbogba. There's a big drain come from Agbogba. And when you see the rubbish in there, apart from bottles, plastic bottles, there are also plastics that have been, what? Tied. What is inside those things, I can't tell. It could be anything. But you could see quite a lot on the surface of the water that was running. So the mindset of the people, how do we change that mindset? So I asked the question, how are the people of Rwanda's mindset changed for the place to be so clean? It is something we need to look at. Do we change the mindset from the schools? Do we change the mindset from the markets? Do we change the mindset from trotro drivers? How do we change mindset? It is something that we should look at. But I also believe that there needs to be a certain process we put in place to do continuous education of everybody. Will you put chewing gum underneath the chair? When you buy pure water and you drink, what do you do with the plastic? Do you put it in your pocket to throw it away at home? How many people do that? If we don't start doing those types of things, we will not be able to achieve what we want to do. It's a collective thing. And I like the idea that, I think it was George who said, that the MPP feel is a good thing, so they are joining. It's not a partisan thing. It is not a political thing. It's a national thing that affects everybody. Now, you see, where this is concerned, and when I was doing my research, I asked the question, what is involved in sanitation? What do we require to do real sanitation? It brought up quite a lot of things, and I'll just go through the headings. Number one, waste collection and disposal. Liquid waste is one of them. Final disposal is one. Then public toilets and facilities. When you go to our markets, are they public toilets? Hardly. Hardly. That is all part and parcel of this situation. Then you have drainage, environmental hygiene. You have health, education, and behavior, because all this has got to do with health. The breeding of mosquitoes, the breeding of rats, the breeding of all these types of things. It's all health. Then management, monitoring, and tools. Do we have the waste trucks, the bins, the brooms, the PPE disinfectants? How do we plan the collection of these things? The oversight of it. How do we make sure that the oversight is strong enough for people not to do those things? Look, apart from places like UK where they sweep, one sight of a policeman, you will not throw paper on the ground. One sight of a policeman, you will not throw paper on the ground. And as you rightly said, when people leave this country and go to other countries, they do what is there, don't they? When they buy things in paper, they put it in their handbag when they go home, or they put it in their pockets. When they go home, they dispose of it. Or they find a disposable bin to put it in. How do we train our people to make sure that when we put bins advantage places, we are able to do what? To put the rubbish in. For me, I think it's a question of the indisciplinedness of Ghanaians. And we need to be able to correct that. And I say indisciplinedness of Ghanaians is because motorbikes don't stop at traffic lights. They just go. That's indiscipline. Motorbikes, when they are sitting on, they don't wear helmets. They don't wear protective footwear. They wear tokota to sit on the motorbike. All that is indiscipline. And we need to be able to treat that. How we start that is a collective thing. I also think that chiefs, our chieftaincy, what do you call it? A chieftaincy institution can help a lot. By even doing town hall, by even making sure that they bring NADMO in to talk to people, town hall meetings. It has to start from somewhere. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. We have to start from somewhere so that in the next 10 years, by we get to 10 years, Ghana won't have a problem of all this rubbish. Because when you see, what the rainfall did to us in terms of the rubbish, I just hope so far we haven't heard any cholera coming up. We haven't heard any major outbreak of certain diseases. I hope we can contain it. But most importantly, we have to be able to train our people to make sure they understand what the word sanitation means.
Let me come to AB now. And AB, after today and tomorrow, the government, many would say, must really be tough, particularly on the assemblies, from the presidency level, on the assemblies and what they must do in their various areas, just to ensure that the public spaces are clean and the gutters are not getting choked.
I want to start by first, it's unusual.
Before you go on, somebody has just sent me, in fact, Belamonte has just sent me the name of the place. Asin Kushia. In the central.
I've actually seen videos of that particular community, very clean.
No, I thought it was Houston.
It's a very clean.
So if for anything at all, how do we now populate that amongst us? Because they have innovated, and that innovation can help all of us.
Okay.
I think Bella did a covering there.
Yeah, I want to start by doing something unusual, which is to commend the MPP. This is me talking now. To commend the MPP for agreeing to join this exercise. This is how a nation should be built. Continuous politics till we all die will not do us good. And I think that moving forward from here, similar things will happen. So I commend the MPP leadership for agreeing to join.
And if ever they come back into power and it happens, the NDC too will join?
Definitely, the NDC will join.
Okay.
And if the NDC doesn't join, I would criticize the NDC for that.
I know you will do it.
And you will join it.
Now, look, we have gone beyond educational. And I've heard people talk about education. In criminal law, there's what is called the deterrent theory.
Yes.
The deterrent theory. There are people who simply do not obey bylaws and laws in general. It is their DNA. Akable, are you listening to me?
Yes, I'm listening.
Mm-hmm. A colleague of mine told me that he saw a trotro and a passenger in there threw something down. He drove and they all stopped at the traffic lights. Then he told the driver and the people that the person, why did he do that? You heard what the driver and the passenger said? Private car, private car. Can you imagine?
What does that mean?
It means everything.
No, translation.
You should understand what you said. You translate it.
You should do that.
Thank you, guys.
You people, when you're sitting in your private car, you think that is it. When you're home, you got yourself.
So look at this behavior. Akabile. The whole trotro was attacking my colleague.
Yeah.
So such people, it is the pain of punishment that will form such a person. That's why I started by saying that DNA is in their DNA.
Yeah.
They are just wrongdoers. But the lack is that they are few. If there were many, this world would not have existed by now. They are few. But we are allowing the few to get away with murder.
They are growing in numbers, actually.
They are growing numbers.
Yeah.
Look, we need national reorientation. I thought that by now, the Ministry of Local Government should have been sponsoring jingles and animations in the radio stations and the TV stations to show. The last time Aliu Muhammad did something about urinating, you know that thing?
Yeah, discipline and discipline.
So if you're not thinking that way, my good friend Ahmed Banda should begin to think that way. Please, we need national reorientation. Complete. Our people, those who, in fact, we are now the ones left. My age group are the ones left who were taught environmental science. And I disagree with you, I wasn't taught. I in Bagabaga Primary in Tamale, in fact, it was one of my best subjects. That's the only place that I will send my reports and go and show my father. The other ones I don't show.
So you're corroborating my point.
That one day I'll go and show my father like this. But the other
corroborating my point.
Mathematics, no, I won't go there. I will hide it.
English, you won't go there.
Oh, English, I was good in English. Yeah. But, so, let's go back and reintroduce environmental studies in the primary schools. You get me? That's a national orientation. As for those of us who are grown, we are already bent. To straighten us is difficult.
We'll break you.
We'll break us. Whatever it is. You know what I mean? So let's ensure that we catch them young, growing up. But I must admit, we don't have so many dumping sites in this country. That is now the headache of the district assemblies. Those who also throw their waste, even though I don't support them, into drains, is because there are no dumping sites. When we were growing up, and population would not allow that. There were places, heaps of, where you can go and throw your waste. And those places became hills. I don't know. They are no more in communities again. No. So once there's no dumping site, and you cannot keep that thing for long in your house, you look here, nobody's watching, you throw it. So let's help the people to also be able to dispose of their waste. However we are going to do it, we should do it. Let's also encourage recycling companies to come in. What would this do? The recycling would take a chunk of the waste away to recycle so that the dumping places will not be choked. I'm now giving you, me, I don't sit here talk without giving solutions. You know me. Let's do that. Let's encourage. I know investors all over who always will come and say they want to recycle. They want to do recycling of waste. Let's encourage them to establish their companies and then take some of the waste and go and then, as it were, recycle. That will also take away the pressure on the dumping side. But for me, they have spoken a lot. So the short thing I want to say is I think that we must prioritize punishment. And when we prioritize punishment, you see that people who are engaged in indiscriminate dumping of refuse will reduce in this country. If we don't do that, we'll come back here in cycles, go 360, come back and be talking about the same thing. The pain of punishment, I tell you, will reduce the indiscriminate dumping of refuse.
What kind of punishment would you suggest? Are you suggesting prison term? Are you suggesting they go and work? What kind of punishment? Because it must have an impact.
Now, we have just, you see, because the law is, there's a non-custodial sentence law which has been passed. No, passed but not assented to. That would have made such an offense a non-custodial sentence. But for me, that non-custodial sentence is a way of disgracing you in the community. When you get up in the morning and everyone's going to work and you are wearing the uniform of the prisons and standing by your house and working, that is more degrading than if you were put in cells. In fact, there are people who prefer to go to cells quietly and come back and join you again. You know, there are people who have gone to cells and come, you don't know they have gone. You thought that they traveled.
I know a guy. I know a guy.
People who go to cells quietly, come back quiet and continue to mix with us, and we are all. But this one, people who are thinking that non-custodial sentence is good, no, they must look at the other side. This one, everybody in the community will see you. And that is a disgrace to you and your family. So I think that let's add this one to the non-custodial sentence, because already the non-custodial sentence is supposed to ensure that you work in your community to clean gutters, to remove debris, to work in public places. So that will also help in ensuring that our communities are clean.
And on a recycling point, I remember when one of these waste companies, I think we've mentioned it all around. I mean, when they started off, I remember when this was many years back, they used to come around and were paying people and taking the plastics from them at that time. I remember we always, as a young guy, then we used to gather on our own. We used to gather in the home, in the house. Immediately, we see the dustbins are full. We go and we take out the plastics on our own and we keep it. We don't wait for our parents to even tell us, because we are waiting for the truck to come. We take it quietly, we go and take your coins and you take your money away. So it's also another important thing that we can go back to, because the waste is money. Also, recycling is a big deal and it's a way of generating a lot of money. So it's something that we should all be concerned about.
As an issue, we can support individuals, private individuals who want to go into the recycling business. We can support, the state can support them to establish those businesses so that they will also help us to,
This is Texas saying that in a similar situation when some people were sitting on Abubuya, was it yellow, and throwing rubbish, when he confronted them, they asked him, "Are you a Sama-Sama?" So I think that these people must be punished. People like that, are you a Sama-Sama?
But let me ask, Ebo was saying we should encourage the private sector. Is it possible for government to look at the assemblies and the districts and see how we can put in recycling places, so that at least there is some control there, and there is some, in terms of how much it will cost, at least that can be controlled. Because if we have it in probably all the major cities, people would gyrate to there with their rubbish. In some countries, if you bring plastic bottles, you are paid a certain amount of money, or you are given a certain amount of compensation, so that we start encouraging. Because sometimes the private sector doesn't have the wherewithal to do it. So if government starts it and then private sector supports, I think it will help. But I think the recycling bit is key. Because we have so many plastic bottles and plastic things. By the way, Akable, tell me, is government going to ban plastics?
In fact, that was just the question I was coming to ask all of you around the table. Colonel Festus Abuaji retired. He's actually listening. He says, all of us, we've outlined all the issues, but he says, what aspects, like the single-use plastics, banning them once and for all? And that's the question that he's asking. Maybe I start with you. What do you think we should ban them once and for all? I was in Rwanda. They don't use the plastics. I went to the shop.
Yes.
I bought a lot of things. They managed to pack them in the paper bags, and I took it away. There was nothing wrong with that. But
we even have an advantage, apart from paper. We have banana leaves. Go to Philippines. They have actually done plates with banana leaves that are not disposable. Let's think outside the box. Plantain leaves, the big one, we can turn it into so many things. Once upon a time, when I was growing up, there was no plastic. It was leaves that they would, people would buy food and eat from it. And it's healthy. It's healthy. So let's think outside the box. It's just that with Ghanaians, once we get our minds stuck on something, it's very difficult to take our minds away from it. Any little thing, in Cartier you buy, they put in plastic.
Yeah.
Any little, they put in plastic. And we don't know how to dispose of plastic. So as much as possible, it starts with the manufacturers. How do we convince the manufacturers to change? Because there's a huge cost there. Remember, they bought machines to do manufacturing of these plastic bags and these plastic containers. How do we help them to change those to do probably paper bowls and paper, what do you call it? In the UK today, when you go to the supermarket, if you want to use plastic, you pay a heavy price for buying the plastic. So you bring your own. And most of the time, people bring paper bags, which everybody is. The one good thing I've seen in Ghana that is working very well are the paper straws now we have for our drinks.
Yes.
I think that is commendable. And the fact that people are now using paper bowls to serve when you go buy food from a vendor, it's a good thing. How do we accelerate it and make it better so that down the line it becomes the in thing instead of plastics?
I mean, Ebo, same question on the plastic.
Yeah, I think it shouldn't be a problem. You can give the producers, let's say 5 years or 4 years. In 4 years, no one should produce plastic in this country. That's maybe too long, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You can show that they prepare. Because now they will have to make sure that they switch from what they are doing to a new area of production. So, this one is let's just pass a law and give them some years to prepare, so that we stop. As you said, Rwanda, you can't send in
and
plastic.
Kenya too has stopped, I think.
Yes, you can't send in, and it's not produced there, so you can't find it there. But here, people import, they produce, so double wahala. So I think it shouldn't be a problem. As a nation, if you have identified the problem and the solution is there, let's provide a solution. And I think the government Parliament should be able to do this. We should be able to pass a law to deal with this issue once and for all.
Say it's the same question.
I enjoy my watching in the
leaves. Yeah.
The leaves, yeah.
Yes. That we need to be careful, because I remember I did a lab test, and then the first question they asked me, do you eat wache from the leaves? I said, this H. pylori thing is cool. Some of the wache sellers usually just take the rag, clean it, then they are selling.
Yes,
it's worrying.
Sometimes it's the rag they used to be.
You see, so those things too, we need to be careful. Yeah, I've heard the chief executive. Yes, of course, yes. The chief executive, the new one, Environmental Protection Agency, saying she's considering the bow. Has she?
No, it's one type of it. It's one type.
One type. Okay. Okay. And you know, a lot of businesses are now hinged on this plastic production. And so I agree with my brothers that we should give time so that they will maybe a year or two, and then we've completely banned plastic usage. Because if you were to go to our beaches, it's nauseating. You get it. And then when the floods came on the 29th, we saw the mess that plastics are making of our environment. And is it non-degradable? You get it. And so it takes a longer time, and then can make our land infertile if we don't take time. So it's a canker to us as a people. We need to find a solution to that. The Environmental Protection Agency, the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology, and others, and then, of course, the local government ministry. They should come together and see the way forward on the usage of plastic materials as packages, so that we ban it. Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's what you're talking
yes,
about.
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually the styrofoam one.
Yes,
it's the one that
that's why
those who don't like the leaves for the watch, the one you put it inside.
The white
Oh,
okay, yes.
So there's that policy is, I think, from what I know, it will take effect from 1st January 2027.
Okay.
But let's extend it. I remember when Mahama Yarga was Minister of Environment, this matter came up, and he promised to ensure that we stop importing, producing, and using. So it's 3. Stop importing, production locally, and using what are they doing? Those plastic things. No, that is styrofoam. The whole plastic. Yeah. So we may have to revisit it and see how we can go. So I think that we should extend this styrofoam to include all plastic, bags, containers, because of its chemical disadvantage and the fact that it is not even good for our health. So we should extend it. When I wrapped my bag at the Kotoka and got to, was it Rwanda? They told me that I couldn't send my bag unless they cut and remove the rubber. I couldn't leave the airport. So they had to remove the rubber, the wrap. So some countries have done it. Let's ensure that we also do it, because they only not, in some communities, cattle, sheep, eat them, and it has an effect in them. Because when there's no grazing field and where the grass is dry, they now resort to eating things of that nature. And so that's not only harmful to we the human beings, but also to our animals. So I think that we should begin to think otherwise and ban it completely.
And let me just quickly add, those black plastic containers that we put food in, please, we should not heat food in microwaves with those black containers. I read a survey that was done with regards to heating food in black containers. The chemicals get expanded whilst it's being heated by the microwave, and it seeps into the food. So as much as possible, if you want to heat food, please put it in a plate or a glass container, glass bowl to heat.
The ceramic ones.
Yeah, the ceramic one to heat. Don't heat with that plastic container in the microwave.
It's not healthy.
Bottled water in your cars. Yes, the heat.
It's not the best.
And this is the kind of education we need to give people.
Yeah, in fact, on the bottle particularly, if you drink it after, you realize it tastes a bit different.
Funny.
Yes, when you leave it in the car for a while. So I mean, it's important that we pay attention to all this. So that is it by way of the conversation on the sanitation issues. We understand the cleaning is already underway in different parts of the capital. Yes.
The piling of heaps by the size of the drains. I think it's the disposal of it. You get it. This exercise will be done.
In fact, we've asked questions about it. We've been told that they are collaborating with the waste management companies to ensure that they are collected and they are not left there. Will get washed down. So some visuals on your screen now. Vice President Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman with a shovel participating in the cleanup exercise. Picking up the rubbish and putting it in the wheelbarrow there. I see the Greater Accra Regional Minister in short as well. Yes.
This should be done every 3 months. Every 3 months.
We understand the first gentleman of the land, His Excellency, is also on his way to one of the areas to also participate in the exercise as well, to ginger the citizens to take part in it. Last week there was a conversation about optics. I think these are the optics that we are seeing now. Joseph Armstrong Gold will be joining us quite shortly. If he's ready, we'll cross over to him and see where he is now and what is happening there. I see Dr. Samuel Ofosampofu also participating in that cleanup exercise as well. So, I mean, this is the first day. This is the first day, we must say. It's the first day actually being done by the security agencies and the Metropolitan Municipal and District Assemblies. Subsequently, we would have the other, all of us actually participate. Let's listen to the Vice President as she spoke after participating in the cleanup.
On the mic.
And to thank everyone for coming out to help with this very, very important exercise.
Don't worry, the station of the nation.
It is a pleasure to see you. But you see, why are we here? We are here because something has gone wrong. But a lot of it is something that you and I have caused. We know that nature will do its own thing. But sometimes we also contribute negatively to the outcomes. There are times where, sometimes even the person who suffers may not necessarily have been the one who caused the damage. When we throw garbage into our drains, maybe that is the reason why somebody's house is finally flooded, because we are blocking the water from taking its natural course. So this should be a wake-up call to all of us. We all know the right things. We don't need any sermon. We know. Let's do the right things and protect each other and protect our country. But I want to thank you all for coming out to help, because this is the time we should all show love. We should all support each other. Thank you.
That's the Vice President, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, speaking there, and the point she makes about we all knowing the right thing, and the right thing needs to be done. Very, very important point. We'll stay a bit on sanitation, but let's bring in the community sentencing aspect of it. The community service bill has been passed. This week was passed by Parliament, and just by way of information to enable us appreciate what the bill seeks to do. So it sets up a structure. The structure is that it sets up the National Secretariat that will run the system. To be overseen by a judge, chaired by a management board with reps from prisons, police, AG's office, social welfare, and the regional and district committees handle local placement and supervision. A presidentially appointed national coordinator will also manage the day-to-day work, and there will be a rehabilitation fund that will be set up as well. So courts can order community service instead of prison for minor offences or those carrying up to 3 years imprisonment or a fine. Those are the offences that the lawyers will call misdemeanors, minor offences. After probation, and before that order will be made, the court will have to be satisfied from the report of a probation officer through a social inquiry report will confirm that the offender is present, you are capable, and the enforcement arrangement exists to enable you to participate in it. The orders may run from 4 to 8 hours a day, a maximum of 6 months under a supervising officer. And where you breach what has been imposed on you, it can trigger a summons or warrant and reversion to prison as well. And when you are done also, when it's completed, it has to be certified by a judge based on the probation report. The minister also has the power to issue guidelines and regulation powers, transitional rules to let some current short-term prisoners convert to community service. And so it's amended parts of Ghana's Criminal Offences Act, the Procedure 1 Act 30 of 1960 as well. And so that is the framework that we have in place. And already there is some form of that arrangement that takes place. I'm sure we've all seen driving around in our neighborhood. Sometimes you see the prisoners who are working along the streets. Most of them are those who are almost done with their term. That's how come they are moving around freely. If you send those who are now starting off there, you're in trouble. AB, I mean, this is a good law we have in place.
Yeah, it is a landmark legislation which would change our criminal justice system. The people you see who work, prisoners you see outside, they have been sentenced with hard labor, or they have been sentenced to hard labor. So that's why they will come out. But it is not synonymous to this. With this one, you'll be allowed to be sleeping in your private house, but you'll be reporting to authorities so that you can do your communal work in the society. And you'll be sentenced to do your communal work or community work at the place you committed the offense. Are you getting me? Now, what is the import of this legislation? It is simply because of the congestions. That is what has informed the legislation. It is because of the congestions in our prisons. That's why this law came about. It is to be applied to offenses that have a sentence of 3 years and below. And that's why you call misdemeanor. But they will not know. He will not know. He's an economist. this guy too is former Sama.
He's a mathematician.
Former Sama mad woman. So he won't know. So misdemeanor means sentences below 3 to below 3 years and below. Now, because your sentence is a misdemeanor, you will do this for 6 months continuously. So you will not serve the entire 3 years or the entire 2 years, but you will do this exercise, cleaning of gutters, all those things, weeding around for 6 months, and then you will have finished serving. So again, yes, if you look at it, it has an advantage because you are not put in custody. 2, you will not serve the full, even though in other offenses too, you serve like 9 months, it's for a year. Prison sentence, 9 months is a year. But this one, you can see that it is a drastic reduction where you just do the work for 6 months. So you work every day 4 hours to 8 hours. Every day you work 4 to 8 for 6 months. Now, it is also not the best if you are a popular man in your community. If you are an influential person in the community, and if you are known in the community, because of the stigma it will come with. I've given you advantages, I'm not giving you disadvantages. Now also, I can foresee people, convicts, who have been sentenced to this community work, actually trying to escape. So we need to ensure that we have proper addresses of these convicted persons. We need to know how their behavior is, whether they will jump the whole conviction. Yeah? Even now, can't you see people at the airport trying to move away? No, I don't know. His people. So
who's his people?
His people.
Yeah, I don't have any people. You are pointing at me. I don't know why you are pointing at me.
His people. The one who has the couple where his people, they are feigning sickness and saying that they are going out to come. Then they will intercept them at the airport and bring them back. So this one too is possible. Because there are some people whose image is so large in the community that see himself being degraded in that form alone can make him also escape. So, and I'm happy there's going to be a secretariat which will just focus on that. So maybe all these my concerns that I'm talking about may be taken into consideration. Yeah.
All right. Mr. Antoine, I mean, one thing that I was curious about, and unfortunately, the way we manage data in this country, I've not been able to find it. I was trying to find the statistics of the prison population and the current of the type of offenses, because I wanted to determine whether what percentage misdemeanors constitute to see how the impact will be on the overcrowding in the prisons, but unfortunately data is basically not available, so we've not been able to do that. But at least this will help to an extent.
Well, from what I read, they are saying that it's 35% above capacity.
No, the prison population, but in terms of the breakdown of the offences to determine whether the felonies, more people are in for felonies than misdemeanors. Because potentially, if it is the other way around, then it will mean that it will just deal with the problem just a little.
Yes.
It will still mean that the overcrowding will remain.
Yes, and then the borderline cases, which is whether it's a misdemeanor or it's an actual crime, we should also look at that. But the other thing I would like to add to what AB said was that it has also an element of cost. It costs 40 million annually to feed inmates at 5 cedis per prisoner per day. And government wanted to bring that amount down because that can be used to do other things. I also hope that with this bill coming in, we would now be able to improve the environment in our prisons. So if we are saving this amount of money every year, we should use it to uplift the environment in the prisons. Because the environment in the prisons cause a lot of challenges, especially health challenges. So that should also be looked at. I think it's a good thing, but rightly, what about those who feel shame and decide to abscond? Remember, if you are sentenced to do community service, it's a sentence from the court.
Yes. Yeah.
It is not because it's community service, that's it. It's a sentence from the court. So if you abscond, you're absconding justice. And when you are caught, the sentence that will be given you will be higher than what you've done. But we, the citizens, should put a much better face to it. So if you see Kwame Jantua, he has committed a traffic offense and he's taken to court and he's being asked to do community service. We shouldn't shun the person and we shouldn't make the person feel as if they are nobody. If for anything at all, what they are doing helps all of us in the community. And so it's not a question of making them feel ashamed. When somebody goes to prison, do people feel ashamed about it? Because they still get people going to visit them in prison. So let's take that bit out of it and try and make sure that the people who have been sentenced to do the community service do it with the love of helping their country.
Okay. Let's cross over to Alajo now. Alajo was one of the areas that were heavily affected by the 29th June flood disaster, basically, that took place in parts of the country. It's because of that major storm drain that passes through that area and goes to the other area as well. Say again?
Alajo is a collecting point for water.
It passes through there. There's a storm drain that moves.
It just passes through.
Yeah, the drain moves through.
It's not a collection point for water.
No, the drain moves through there. So a lot of...
So why is it that it's always flooded?
There are lots of the people basically live along the drain. Their houses along the drain. Their businesses along the drain.
They weren't supposed to have built their houses along the drain.
And then once the drain is not desilted and it gets full, that's what happens. Armstrong is there. Armstrong joins us live from there. Armstrong, good morning once again. How are things shaping up in terms of the cleanup at Alajo, especially because of what we saw on 29th June at Alajo?
So, Akable, currently we are here at the Alajo area, one of the heavily hit areas during the flooded day, Monday, June 29, and we see the deployment heavily here as well, where you see teams from both the assembly, the military, and other security agencies gathered here. And you see the number of fields engulfed the entire drain system here. This is one of the biggest places, heavily hit areas, where about 3 people died as a result of the flood. And the assembly has gone ahead to do some demolition along this area as well. Earlier, you would have seen that there were some structures that were very close to the drain area, but this morning we are here and we've seen that they've pulled down almost all the structures that are here. One other thing we are picking here is that we are not seeing so many tricycles that will be able to collect the debris after the work is done. You see people throwing the rubbish, gathering it at one particular spot, but unfortunately we are not seeing tricycles that will collect them from this area. I've just cited the Deputy Minister for Defense, who has been busy also with the team from the Ministry of Defense trying to help with the cleanup exercise here. So I will engage with him now and see if we can get some detailed explanation from how the deployment was done and what to expect. Is it going to be a one-day wonder? Today, tomorrow, then we go back to sleep again. Still getting some briefing from some of the authorities here. Akable.
I'm strong. Just try and get that interview once you are ready with it. We'll come back to you and pick that interview. But I mean, the community service role and the possibility of even that playing out in how we manage some of these things.
Yeah, see, most of our prisons have become criminal academies. Because that is a training ground for a lot of people. You send a first-time offender or a minor offender to a prison that has hardened criminals. The person will end up coming out as a hardened criminal. Yeah. And so it's a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing.
But
how
my criminal procedure lecture, one of his favorite words was recidivism. When they go back, the likelihood of they coming back to commit the same offense.
Some even plant corn, but they will release them before the corn is ripe. So they come and they go and harvest their corn.
I see they plant a corn in the prison.
Reasons for going back.
Yeah. But how we manage it is what is important. I mean, it is easier said than done. We need to put in place measures, mechanisms that will make it successful. We don't just have to pass the laws and then later have to go back and reconsider whether it was something worth doing. You see, the issue of corruption should also be looked at in relation to this, because some rich people who are supposed to provide this productive labor for the nation.
They'll corrupt the supervisors and not show up.
They will not show up. They will just sign, go and sleep and pay the supervisors. And so we need to, I mean, it's about the implementation. It's not just about just passing the law. Yeah, monitoring, yeah. And so it's a good thing. I mean, it's a good thing. The prisons have become death traps. If you go there, some of the things you see. And the fact that 5 cities a day, I mean, come on. I've said it, 2 things politicians must do, especially when they get power, is focus on how to make our prisons a better place and our hospitals a better place. Because if you're a politician, if you don't go to the hospital, you may end up in prison.
George, I'll give you the final word.
Yeah, that's why it's community service. I think Lawyer AB did say that people will be monitoring you. The community is going to watch you. So, yes, somebody will be assigned as an officer who will be supervising you and co. But the whole community is aware that X or Y is being sentenced to render community service. So, maybe assembly member can be monitoring you. You get it. People will develop interest, especially if who you are. You get it. And if you are one of such people, and you are serving within that community where you committed the offense, so people's interest will be heightened to monitor. The other issue is it going to be confined to hard labor alone? You get it. Maybe I have a special skill, unique skill. Okay. Will my skills be put to use as part of the community service I'm rendering? You get it? So I take care of the aged in the community? Can I be asked to go then and render that service to the community as part of my serving my sentence? You get it?
There's going to be an LI. So
yes,
the LI will
spell out those things. So those were the issues that we look. So if there's a teacher, will the teacher be allowed to go and teach in the community?
You're being comfortable with this.
So no, so it's a service to the community. You get it? And that service
so if
is
he's arrested, he gives free service, legal free service to.
Yes,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You get it? Because some people
it's a good point here.
Yes. So the LI will factor those things.
The person has a special skill.
Yes.
Like a medical doctor.
Yes.
But you can't be comfortable in it.
You send him to. You are not going to be paid.
Yes. You get it. And can some also
get tips? They'll get tips.
Can some also be sent to our schools to wash plates at the dining hall and all those things so that the kids will see? So these are things that we need to factor. Once it's a community service, and the bill is emphasizing the need that is going to decongest our prisons. And I think that is what is exciting a lot of people. And two, what you brought up, the cost factor, which is going to reduce the burden on governments in that. And then the key aspect that most all of you touched on, the criminal individual going there and becoming a hardened, that factor is going to be taken away. But then, it is, as he said, misdemeanor, 3 or less. And most of those, would have committed crimes that are not too
steal a chicken,
serious. Okay? But because they are going to mingle with then they will be recruited and then groomed to become hardened. Some even come back, and that's where the recidivism issue comes in. So these are things that, at the glance, is a good, as he said, law that we are passing as a people. The implementation, and I think Akabli spelled out how it's going to be handled. Okay, there's going to be a secretariat team that will be doing the monitoring and co. As we speak, there are some areas in the traffic, street lights and co that are so weedy. You get it? And it's the prisoners that come, I think the communities pay them, or I don't know whether it's a free service. Sometimes they pay. Sometimes the assemblies or whoever pays them. Okay, so this is going to be a service to the community, and the management teams maybe will then be paid by where the services are rendered to, so the revenue will be collected to support government's work in those communities. So we all welcome these. Some will say I would say it's long overdue. It's being practiced elsewhere, even in Africa, Kenya, South Africa, and others. So Ghana, the first to gain independence, if we can have this in our statute books and implementing them. Successfully. We all welcome it.
Akabli, I heard, and this is out of what we are discussing. I heard a news item, and I'm not sure whether it's true, that our ambulances and our vehicles that transport money also transport drugs. That a police team stopped one of the ambulances, and when it was opened, they found drugs in it. I think it's got to do with the drugs that were being exported to Australia.
Oh, yes. That's interesting. I've not seen that particular.
Yes, I heard it over the news, and I was wondering how can we be doing things like that, where ambulances are meant to cart sick people. We pack drugs in it because it's freeway to go.
That's what they do. They exploit.
But recently, a Tema case, police van, police arrested their own colleague using the police official van in cutting drugs. Tema. So it's the individuals who are handling these vehicles. They want some money, quick money. They think it can be quick money.
It's the quick money thing that is creating challenges.
Police at the barrier will not think
that anything like that is in there.
Ambulance safety and
those people are smart people. They're smart people. They
it needs informants. Without informants, you cannot. So the police got information, and then they will be able to.
Is there a course that you go to learn and you know why people think the way they think.
Yeah, psychology.
Look at this. Morocco is at the World Cup to represent Morocco and not Africa.
Oh, no, they've issued a disclaimer. They've issued a disclaimer. The Moroccan government has issued that their minister didn't say that. Yeah, they've issued a disclaimer.
But
but they allowed it to fester for long before issuing the disclaimer.
That's something interesting happened yesterday.
The black Europeans scored the white Africans.
Oh,
I can't believe you think we win.
I told you already. I said I want Argentina to win, but I have a funny feeling that France may just pick it. They seem very.
I mean, you know, I'm a Messi fan, so
yeah, I want Argentina to win, but maybe.
You don't think anyone outside can win, like Norway or Belgium?
Norway, I doubt. They may beat England, but whether they win,
they cannot beat England.
I'm surprised people are not talking about the referee against the African teams.
Oh yes, but that is there.
But African teams.
Your Messi that you are talking about. Your Messi that you are talking about. You know that in the first match he was supposed to get a red card.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Since when did you become a referee?
Let me put all the football analysts on hold. Let's go to Tema now. George Queening is there while we wrap up the discussion. George, we just cross over to George and we'll wrap up shortly. George, how are things looking at Tema with respect to the national?
Okay. Thank you so much for your time. We are coming to you live from Tema, and as you're aware, it's the National Post-Flood Cleanup exercise, and so everyone is just busy trying to put everything in place. And I'm here in Tema. I'm here with the Tema Mayor, Ibi Bright, and she's already started everything. And we just want to pick from her what exactly today means to her and how well she wants to clean her area. Ibi Bright, thanks so much. You're live on TV3 Newday.
Thank you very much, and greetings to all Ghanaians and your cherished viewers, everybody. And I want to thank you for coming out so we can do this together. This is in the wake of a national tragedy and pain. But so for me, there are quite a few things to look at today. It's not, we're not just cleaning, but we're trying to deal with psychological trauma. When you watch your cherished belongings suddenly become trash, the least we could do is to evacuate all of that. Yeah.
So let's start with the car there. Yeah. And I know some things are not making you sleep at night. So you are very frustrated. I actually saw when I came here. So run me through what has happened to this very track here. I know that's not the right place it should be, but it's there. So why is this car?
So which of the tracks?
The Bolaka, this one,
no,
the tricycle.
Bola one, not the.
We'll go to that side where the substation 2 is.
So here's the network of things that happen. You see, this track today is the 5th day since it's been here. Wow. This is my route to work, and so when you first notice it, you assume that somebody is on their way. Yeah. And so, of course, you don't interfere with that. But after a few days, you realize that is abandoned. And when you look around it, you realize there probably was some scuffle or whatever. Now, this is not even typical. What is typical is that they will just tip the contents there and then move on and collect from somewhere else. But when you look at that, you realize that it's part of a broader economy where just nearby a road has been taken over by encroachers. They are rearing cattle, they are doing illegal dump sites and recycling businesses. And so the leftover is what they will now dump alongside the road. In many instances, they will burn this. And then you also have some residents of those settlements who don't even pay or are not subscribed onto waste collection at all. So it's a complex of enforcement, it's a complex of discipline, it's also a complex of us going in and doing what you call removals. Yeah. You say, oh, demolition and all of that, but you have to put all of these in context. Yeah. The law does not allow us to give warning when there is a crisis on public right of way. And so we will try and, put all these pieces together so that the cleaning is sustainable and is real. Because if I don't remove...
I want us to go there. I'm interested in that place. I think it will come to the time where you want to do something without a human face.
Yes. Well, no, it's actually with a human face. Okay. Because you see, the humans are not only the 20 people doing wrong. Yeah. The humans are also the millions who have to deal with all of this.
So you see, you don't allow
repercussions, the ripple effect.
Yeah, well, the ripple effects also is that if you allow this, the gutters are choked, you're exposed to disease, you lose access to the right of way. This is a lane that we should be able to pass through. Then you see the cattle which are fighting us every day. Wow. But most importantly, look at all of this. These are the activities that they engage in around here. This is it. And this now is a lane. Is a road that should be used by you and I. So considering how poor our network is, this is not what we should allow. So you see this, and then look at that. You need to get this. Look.
Wow.
So this is
big mosquitoes.
Yeah, beyond mosquitoes, this is sewage, raw sewage, because this is bathroom, toilets, and everything mixed with animals, and But this is our road infrastructure. So sometimes when
you get the permit for this guy to reside here?
There can't be a permit for this. This is just a lack of our enforcement. But you see, it's so widespread that every time you hit a location, everybody, demolition. And because the public ordinarily would not be able to differentiate between somebody's private property, and then the community right of way, like our road, which has now become this. Wow. So this is the sanitation challenge. This is it.
You have a lot of work to do, I guess.
Yeah, well, we do, but the conversation needs to be honest. And, they have to put a measure of trust in us. Now, what I am worried about is the way that communication around all of these things goes around. You see, it's a national, it's a tragedy of national proportions. So you don't leave it to we as individual MMDAs to communicate, to try to engage individual populations as if it's initiatives that we are coming, how would I say, we're inventing. It has to be a national communication. People need to understand what is acceptable, what is not, where they can be, where they can't be. It's strange to me that in Ghana, I experience the fact that enforcement, when I have to enforce these situations, like the removal we must do, I need the protection of the police. I need the fire service. You even have Navy in a joint
collaborated effort here.
Yes, just to get it to move. It means that even my authority on its own is not.
It cannot stand on
Yes, but yet the policeman is not empowered to be able to tell this person that they can't be here. Why do you need an extra? So we need to integrate enforcement. The police uniform, empowered with the right information and mandate and permission, should be able to say, you can't stay here, you need to get up, like it's done everywhere. So I think that sometimes we overly complicate this thing, where the information is being kept as a preserve of a few people, as if it's a specialism and all of that. And if I wasn't the mayor, I wouldn't know a lot about what it takes to be responsible for my community as a citizen.
That's George Queenin speaking to the MC for the Tema Metropolitan Assembly. I'll be right there. Very disturbing pictures there, and raising all the issues that we all know, and we all agree that the main challenge is enforcement. That is how we wrap up this segment of the show. Special thanks to George AC with the New Patriotic Party joining us this morning. Kwame Jantua as well. No, I'm coming. Kwame Jantua is with the Convention People's Party, is a legal practitioner. Abraham Amaleba is Director General, National Road Safety Authority. And special belated happy birthday to one of my favorites on the show, one of our favorite contributors, always on the show. Ebo is a fantastic guy. And those who know me, I always tell them that the thing about Ebo that I like is when he's even on fire, he will listen. He will calm down and listen. When AB is on fire, to get AB to listen, you have to tie him with rope, especially when he's a wounded lion and he's coming after you.
And I have
happy belated happy birthday to you.
And I have my birthday with a friend, the headmaster of Academy of Christ the King Campus, Kwesiama. Yes, Reynolds. Happy birthday. Yesterday we had our birthday I normally don't celebrate
And
my
my
birthday.
gold board.
But yesterday, a few friends
Daniel,
came together.
I'm still waiting for AB to come back with regards to his bit on the tricycle thing.
Yes. I remember the fight the other time.
Yes, he hasn't come to tell us.
Ebo, you have a minute. You are the one who celebrated birthday yesterday.
I'm saying that I don't normally celebrate my birthday. And I look, I look far younger than my age. You know.
He's 34.
No.
Yeah, the first time he told me.
He told me he was 34.
The first time he told me his age, I was shocked.
I was when he said 34, I said, "Oh, you should be driving me. I should be driving you."
I was very shocked. He's a very fine man. He's not young at all. He just looks very good. Yeah, and he's taking good care of himself.
Yes, and I thank God for for His grace. I've made it this far by the grace of God. Nothing.
All of
in
us
addition to the grace of God.
When he was causing trouble, he was in his 20s.
I was 29 years back.
Just that he wasted his illustrious life and the MPP. He was really a force to reckon with. He was really a force to reckon with.
As always, big issue is sponsored by the University of Gold Coast. And
that formed him. He's formative.
I have to make money. You have to hold on. I'll be in trouble. I have to make money. Whether you are aiming for a specialist MBA in marketing, whether you are aiming for a specialist MBA in marketing, communications, operations, supply chain, human resource management, finance, entrepreneurship, innovation, or business intelligence analytics, or you want to advance through our dual MBA or chartered manager MBA, University Gold Coast gives you options that match your vision. And if your next step is an MSc in international relations, communication, international marketing, international law, security, diplomacy, accounting, finance, or human resource management, an LLM in international law, security, diplomacy, or an MA in biblical studies, practical theology, the pathway is open. You can apply today because at University of Gold Coast, we make it practical, flexible learning, flexible entry, and flexible payment. You can study around your work and life and choose a route that fits your background and pay in convenient installments. Your dream deserves structure, your future deserves strategy, your purpose deserves training. You can apply now at www.ugc.edu.gh or call or WhatsApp us on 0263 888555. University of Gold Coast, building leaders for the nations. We'll take a quick break. When we come back from the break, we'll have sports. You want to send greetings to Alaji, Baumia, and Mrs. We've done that. AB2 will send one to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We'll be right back after the break. Stay tuned in.